when you look at those numbers, like those are premium numbers. That's what you want to see going into March Madness. And so it's awesome to see early in season, and I'm sure this will be a test for him to keep that consistency this game.
That's a big part of it, the consistency from both sides, and we'll see what they can get done today. Again, I'm Angel Gray alongside Chelsea Gray, and Belmont gets the ball first. Belmont picked to win its 5th OVC crown in 6 years, and they return all of their starters this season, as well as the first shot up does not connect. That shot by Kiana Smith is no good. Look at the Louisville starting 5, and Haley Van Lith, Chelsea Hall, Kiana Smith, Emily Inkster, who had an amazing game, really solidified the win over Michigan the other day. It was really big in that win. Olivia Cochran rounds out the starting 5 for Louisville, and Belmont gets the ball back on the side.
Yeah, it's a good sign for Belmont here. They shot a 3 early in their first possession. That was probably the first good look that they got and was able to take it.
And the Belmont starting 5, as I mentioned earlier, all 5 starters returning, a very young core, as they don't want to see the turnovers piling up. We were able to talk to Coach Art Brooks before the game, and he said, well, the key for them today is to make sure that their turnovers are on lock. He said he'd make a phone call to Jeff Waltz and say, what color are you wearing? I'm going to tell my team not to pass it to that color.
Yeah, I mean, he mentioned wanting to get shots on goal every single time, and this Louisville defense makes you take rush shots sometimes, so just hopefully be consistent there.
Inkster was hoping for the Euro step on the inside, a little frustrated with the move, but that is a turnover. And who's leading both sides? Well, we'll start with Bart Brooks, who was in his 5th season, 3rd fastest head coach in 200 career victories in Division I women's basketball history. With a 104-29 record. Jeff Waltz just doing amazing work with Louisville, as another bucket by Hall puts Louisville now on the board. And we can't mention, highly enough of what Jeff Waltz has been able to do with this program. The winningest coach in program history, 10 trips to the NCAA Sweet 16, 6 trips to the Elite 8, as Belmont evens the score at 2.
Yeah, when you think of Louisville basketball, Jeff Waltz always comes to mind and what he's been able to do with this program.
I mentioned that, the 3 trips to the Final Four, 2 trips to the national title. So Chelsea, he's just still searching for that overall title, first title in program history. He's come close, and he's got a squad that he's challenging each and every day. Some key pieces returning. Dana Evans no longer with the group, but a lot of nice talent coming from their transfers that we'll get into later on in the show. You see a lot of cutting from Louisville and trying to see if they can get things going offensively, saying they're still struggling. A couple of looks at the rim for Inkster, but those are not going to go. Louisville is going to retain the ball, though, underneath.
Yeah, Jeff Waltz was able to, have a conversation with us and talk about his offense a little bit. And you want to be able to generate some easy buckets, and I think that's what their defense has been able to do.
15 on the shot clock. Smith all the way to the rim, gets the bucket to go. Kiana Smith. Another big bucket for her. She came into this game 3 points shy of scoring 1,000 points. He said, I want her to be more confident, get into the bucket. I said, Coach, she's going for 1,000 tonight. We're going to make sure that we call it. So 1 more point for Kiana, and she's in that 1,000 point club. 8 on the shot clock. Belmont with a beautiful scoop from Madison Bartley. Bart Brooks, mention of Bartley, has been an up and down year for her, working on her confidence as well and getting to her spots. That's a good spot for her to be in. Nice move on the other end.
Yeah, nice sign for Coach Brooks here when scoring early.
And a nice move to the bucket by Chelsea Hall will put her on the free throw line as she's fouled. That's going to go against Madison Bartley. That's her 2nd personal foul, something to keep your eye on and actually Coach Brooks doesn't like that foul being picked up, so right away, Tessa Miller is going to check in. So Chelsea Hall is a good player to be at the free throw line. She's 100% from the free throw line. That one is all money.
I'm glad you didn't jinx her on that one there.
Oh, you believe in that?
Sometimes there's been times where I'm looking at, oh man, they might miss this free throw this time. I'm glad the player doesn't hear when you're when you're talking about it over here on the sideline.
So far it's working, still 100%. Another 2 buckets from Hall. We see the full court pressure too from Louisville as they back out, and it's now man-to-man half court. Tootie Jones passing around the perimeter. Corner 3 by Destiny Wells. That one is no good. Destiny Wells, as we mentioned at the top of the game, is the leading everything for this Belmont Bruins squad, and she has a target on her back. Coach said, like, these are things that we know coming into the season. It's going to be tough for her to acknowledge.
I think that she's been able to see a couple of different looks, and she'll only grow from this. She's still young. She has a lot of game left in front of her, but she's doing well with handling the pressure.
Tootie Jones rims around for the 3. No look. Second chance opportunity doesn't go, and Louisville comes down with the rebound.
One thing about this Belmont team, you know they're going to shoot threes, and be able to knock them down is going to be the key.
Chelsea Hall didn't like her take to the bucket, pulls it out, and will reset the offense, handing it off to Emily Inksler as they continue to move it around the perimeter. Nice Haley Van Lith look at the top of the key. That one's no good. She'll dial it up again. That one grazes the front. Third chance opportunity for the Cardinals. They'll bring it out with 17 on the shot clock. A nice look underneath. Another miss bucket by the Cardinals. That's knocked out of bounds, but that's actually going to be called to Belmont. But quickly, all the fans in the Young Center might have helped that official
I think he was going to hear that all the way down to the other baseline if he didn't reverse that call.
Yeah, it looked like it was tipped out by Belmont, and Kiana was like, yeah, no, that's not the way that one played out. So they will get the ball on the sideline. Louisville on a 6-game winning streak. Had a big win, 70-48 over 9th-ranked Michigan, as a beautiful bucket to Inksler on the inside. Gives him the 4-point lead.
I like that kind of play call coming from the sideline, being able to get an easy bucket inside, a close look at the rim.
Tootie Jones takes one too many steps, so it's another turnover for Belmont. That makes it 3. Destiny Wells will take a trip to the bench. As Blair Schuenwald will check in. One player to keep your eye out on, still trying to see her rhythm from the 3-point line, but Coach said looking for more consistency from her offensively.
Yeah, it's still early in the season to be able, I think, on both ends. You see the coach trying to figure out, you know, the subs and when to do certain things as Kiana Smith knocks down that jumper. But you're also seeing that from the players, like, when am I coming in? What am I expected to do in each possession, each time I'm out there? So I think everybody is figuring out along.
And a nice bucket by Tootie Jones, but I was hoping you said Kiana Smith with her 1,000th point bucket. She's gonna look back and say Chelsea Gray had that call. And that's a big one. Congrats are in order for Kiana Smith with 1,000 points. Four-point lead for Louisville. Another nice look on the inside by Inksler. That one doesn't go. It's a bit short, but she will be able to draw the foul on the inside. She's been very aggressive to start the game. And that's the woman of the hour, Kiana Smith, 1,000 points. A fan behind us just now said, here they come. You better believe it. The #1 seed in program history, the volleyball team, continues to make history. Only undefeated team in the nation. School history, too, with the first #1 ranking in RPI, advanced to the Sweet 16 over Ball State. And they just continue to do a remarkable job. Danny Busboom-Kelly, the first ever female volleyball coach to have an undefeated regular season. We saw Anna Stevenson, Aiko Jones, and Tori Dilfer, who you might know. Her father played for the NFL, Trent. So athletics doesn't fall too far from the tree, but congrats are in order for the Cards Nation, just celebrating a historic run by this volleyball team. They said that they are playing the number 6 team in the nation, Florida, on Thursday. And Jeff Waltz came out on the mic as well and said, if you buy a ticket to that game and one on Sunday, a free soda on me. He first had said drink. He said, let me refrain, let me clear that up. A free soda on me, making sure that they are supporting all teams.
Yeah, I think he was like, everybody got excited. He was like, wait, hold on 1 second. I meant Sprite, Coke.
Sprite, Coke. Yeah, that one. So that's really awesome, though, seeing what the volleyball team has been able to do here, making history, finish the season, the regular season perfect, still perfect, looking for that title as well. Scramble underneath by Belmont. They finally corral it in. And with this possession, can actually tie the game. Look on the inside to Tessa Miller, goes to the left side off the glass and ties the game at 10 with 3 minutes in the first quarter.
You know, Coach was talking about that he doesn't really go to the post-up game as much and shooting from the outside, but they've had great post-ups here early.
Beautiful look on the inside by Tessa Miller. And on the other side, Destiny Wells picks up her first foul. A couple of substitutions for Louisville. Hall and Inksler will take a trip to the bench. But we talked with Coach before this game, too. 10-all at this point. He said, we respect this Belmont team, and it's very clear to our team and to these women that we have to show up and play. We'll see if they can change things around. And that's 3 seconds. That's going to be a turnover for Louisville.
You see a double team coming quickly with Liz Dixon checking into the game. She'll see that look a lot tonight.
You know that with that frame. 6'5" senior Liz Dixon on the inside, seeing if they can just get her to cough the ball up. You mentioned it, just adjusting to the different looks by Belmont. Nice outside shot, doesn't fall for Wells. Still looking to see if she can get going from the outside. Still scoreless in this game, 0 for 2. Louisville back to Liz. And this time, she finishes.
Well, she got the ball off the block a little bit more, so she was able to create some space, face up, and make a strong move to the basket. And that might be the adjustment Jeff Walsh makes in not having her back to the basket so much.
A deflection underneath by Liz Dixon, getting it done on both ends of the floor. Outside shot by Smith, no good. Destiny Wells comes down with the rebound, seeing if she can find something in transition. Lana Smith trying to contain her from a layup. And the outside shot by Tessa Miller doesn't go. Haley Van Lith trying to work something on the left side, and a nice touch off the glass. Van Lith now on the board in the 8 minutes. 2 points, 1 for 3 from the field. So Louisville back-to-back buckets after Belmont tied it at 10. And it's really been on the defensive side. You see the poke out there and also the turnover. Liz Dixon getting her hand in the passing lane, as well as now there's going to be a plethora of substitutions for Belmont to see if they can get some energy going to finish out this first quarter. 1:14 left in this first frame.
When I was in school, we would have statistics seeing how many deflections we could get throughout a game, and that kind of indicated who was the aggressor, how engaged we were at the point of attack, and so I'm sure that's a point of emphasis for Louisville's defense.
You don't have the #2 scoring defense without tracking those type of stats is so very important, as there is a foul on the play. That's going to go against Kiana Smith, her first personal foul, and actually the team first as well. '63 seconds left in this first frame. It's Cam Browning trying to get some action going on the wing. A trap at the top of the key leads to another turnover. And this looks like another bucket for Kiana Smith.
She said, I'm not stopping at around 1,000. I'm going to keep going.
Why not? Six points for Kiana Smith as that last shot by Nikki Baird misses everything. Van Lith takes the bump, and they're going to say that was on the floor. They're going to call that on the floor. That goes against Jamelyn Kinney, but the take underneath.
I don't know. That might have been a gather right there. I'm counting that and one if I'm a ref. Give me that bucket.
You would go after that. Well, she still gets an opportunity to step up to the free throw line, but you don't have the same excitement. When you have that and one, it's a little different, right?
Yeah, I'd just be like, count that. Let me go to the free throw line.
We've seen you do that multiple times within your career. Stand out at Duke, WNBA champion. The Sparks, I was actually able to call that game as well, which was an amazing thing. And then obviously you coming off of a big time summer with USA basketball in the Olympics. I mean, at this point, we don't know what you can't do, Chelsea Clay.
I still got a lot I need to do in this here game of basketball.
Louisville on a 7-0 run. And it happened at that mark where Belmont tied the game. That was around 2 minutes left in the game and 16 left on the game clock to finish out this quarter. Destiny Wells at the top of the key, trying to see if she can work something off Conley Chin. Chin from the outside. That one hits the back iron. They get the rebound. Another look. And Jamelyn Kinney gets the bucket. Big bucket by Kinney brings this game within 5, and a nice look. Belmont not going anywhere against the top-ranked Louisville. You can learn more and help support by visiting the.org/donate. 100% of your donation goes directly to cancer research. So very important. I was able to even speak with Debbie Antonelli about the impact of Coach Jimmy B and what he was at NC State, but it's so much about finding more research as well, and it's so very important. He said, don't give up, don't ever give up. We have to find a way to end cancer.
Everybody has had some sort of impact as she trains the three from the wing. Everybody's had an impact from cancer, whether it be family or friends, so important cause there, so people please pay attention to that.
Well, in that as well, back-to-back threes for both teams, and the offense just keeps raining on the inside. Blair Schoenwald with the big-time three. So we said we were going to see some offense in this game. We are seeing it at the top of the second quarter. 3 threes already. And it continues. Cochran for 2.
Straight up pro move right there, being able to open your pivot phase, be able to see the floor, see if the double team is coming, and knock down the mid-range jumper.
Kinney at the top of the key, moving it around, trying to see if they can get things going. A hot start by both teams to start this second quarter. Chin puts it in. Chin with 4 points, 2 for 5 from the field. We got a 2-point game. And it's been going back and forth with this swing of offense in the second quarter. Belmont comes up with a rebound, dishes it off to Jamelyn Kinney. And it's been electric in this second quarter.
They've been able to see the ball go through the bucket a little bit more starting this second quarter, and that's all a team that can shoot needs. Be able to have the momentum.
And that's what your team doesn't need. A travel is going to be called. That's a turnover for Belmont. Actually, that's actually going to be a foul called against Chin. That's her second foul. And the officials are going to stop play for a minute just to review. They're looking to see if it's a flagrant. So we do have stoppage in play. Both teams have gone to their benches. We'll see what they come
Previous play is under review.
So our amazing officials, Luis Gonzalez, Meadow Overstreet, and Crystal Pollines.
I don't see really anything there, Angel. I think it was just a normal ball movement, trying to get to the wing and get to an outlet person. Some blood there definitely begs the question, but I didn't really see much on that replay there.
Well, if that's into account as well, it's more so the hit at the top when it comes above the shoulders. They have to review for what type of flagrant. So right away, any connection at the top or shoulders above, they're going to review and see if it's a flagrant or flagrant 2 for contact for intent.
Yeah, I think she was just trying to get position there, but I definitely understand that rule. And whenever I get hit in the mouth, I'm like, go check it out, go check it out. I got some blood on my hands here.
But as you mentioned, it doesn't seem like it was an intentional ruling of where she was on the floor. So we'll see what the officials come up with. And it's just unfortunate too, just in this, because
after review, there was nothing excessive or unnecessary about the play. The call stands as an offensive foul on the floor. We're going to media.
And that was the play that we initially thought was going to be no excessive call on the play. So the officials said we're going to take a break. We'll take a break with them as well. Belmont only down 2. Welcome back. We saw a lot of offense to start the second quarter, mainly from the three-point line. We asked Jeff Walsh before the game what his keys were to the game. He said, listen, we have to prevent them from getting threes, and here's why.
Coach Brooks mentioned spreading out this Louisville defense to be able to get different looks, whether it's penetrating and kicking or moving in a motion set. So they've been able to do that and get some threes in transition as well.
And a different look from Belmont out of the timeout, a little full court press, that 1-2-1-1. Cochran gets the ball underneath. You see the double team coming, trying to cause some chaos. Cochran's shot, no good, and Belmont comes down with the rebound. Big rebound by Browning. Beautiful read by Robinson, and she's gonna take it for the pick 6. So Belmont's always right there, but it comes down to just how they continue to take care of the ball. Another turnover for Belmont, and that's at this point has been the Achilles heel. They've done everything offensively they need to do as far as putting the ball in the bucket, but turnovers has been a big thing.
You always want more possessions than the other team, and so they've had these turnovers, and it comes to live ball turnovers, and they're getting easy layups in transition. And so I think that's a focus and a point of emphasis for Coach Brooks in that timeout.
Destiny Wells picks up her second foul. It's a 4-point game with Louisville leading the way.
Ooh, didn't know which hand she wanted to finish that with.
Exactly, nice move by Kiana at the rim. A lot of movement on the underneath, and finally, Alana Smith for 2.
Boy, Belmont does not waste any time trying to get an open look in transition.
And that was just completely denied by Ingsler.
That'll get this crowd fired up.
Those are the type of plays you need from a defensive team protecting the paint.
She was just waiting on that timing.
But Belmont has 19 seconds left on the timer, seeing if they can get it in, and she stepped on the baseline. Once again, something that we've been talking about throughout this game, 9 turnovers for Belmont.
If you think about that, that's 9 possessions that you're not able to get a look at the basket, whether that's getting to the foul line or driving into the paint, kicking for threes. That's a lot of points you're missing out on by creating these turnovers.
Or Chelsea giving up. Louisville has 10 points off of their 9 turnovers. So it's also really recognizing what they have to do. And we've had some stoppage with Elena Smith on the sideline. And she will take a trip to the back. Well, actually to the end of the bench with their trainer. We'll have more on her. It seems like he's just working on that left foot. Tough shot at the rim for the Cardinals, and Belmont continuing to see if they can get anything out of their transition. They said they wanted to do that as well. How do you think they've handled so far what they've been doing in their transition?
I think I'll give him about a C. I got him about a C because with these turnovers, like, you're not getting a shot on goal. And I think that's going to be important to be able to do that.
Deep shot by Tootie Jones, in and out. Robinson is going to be charged. Actually, Olivia Cochran with the offensive foul as Robinson was just trying to come off of that screen and get to the bucket. Cochran not too happy with the foul called on the floor. And Belmont once again gets the ball back. Both teams, it's been very interesting how both teams have struggled with taking care of the ball. Got 5 turnovers for Louisville. That's a tough look on the inside as Tessa Miller couldn't get that one to fall. And another turnover. Belmont trying to see if they can finish the play, and they do. Tootie Jones finishes that one.
I guess Belmont is like, well, if I'm going to turn it over, I'm going to make sure you do as well in scoring transition.
They said they want to counter the athleticism for Louisville and just finding ways to score if they cough the ball up. We talked about the defense from Louisville. Belmont not doing too bad themselves as Kiana Smith rises up, doesn't get that one to go, and a foul on the floor is going to be called, and that's going to stay with Louisville as Tessa Miller gets the foul called on the clear out.
That's a foul that I'm taking, though. She was aggressive with the box out, making sure they didn't get any second chance points there with Cochran going out of the game. But if I'm a coach, I'm cheering that on like every single time, box out that same way.
And you can see the turnovers there, as we alluded to earlier in the game, with the amount of points off of turnovers for both teams. Seeing if they can capitalize. Van Lith right away. Off the left side, you would think that'd be in the scouting report because she's had all of her buckets come from that side of the floor. A lot of bodies on the side for Belmont, which leads to a timeout for Bart Brooks.
22-28 Louisville coming back after this.
We're back after the quick timeout, and Belmont doing everything they can to see if they can walk away with a win here in the KFC Yum Center. Only down 6 points to the 10th ranked Louisville Cardinals. Both teams actually coming off of big wins for themselves. Belmont was able to play against their rival Lipscomb, walking away with that win. And then a big win for Louisville over Michigan just the other day, 78-48. That shot is short from Belmont. Hall pushing the pace, gets the 2.
I like the floaters, soft touch, going full speed and able to rise above it and knock it down.
The poise of it all, not forcing the situation to pick up the offensive foul is very nice to see from your point guard. Outside shot by Blair Schoenwald, and that one doesn't go. Schoenwald still trying to see if she can find her rhythm from the outside. You know who does find their rhythm from the outside? Kiana Smith for 3.
Going under the screen, she'll make you pay every single time.
This is the largest lead for Louisville, 11-point lead. Seeing if they can pull away. Another deflection, that's going on Chelsea Gray's chart. As Conley Chin checks in. Kylan McGuff will take a trip to the bench. biggest lead for Louisville, and it's really come down to this capitalizing off of the turnovers from Belmont. As you can see here, the stifling defense at the top of the key, as well as the shot clock is winding down 5, and they're at half court. Last second heave, not a great possession for Belmont.
I think the difference here is when they go into a pick and roll, they're hedging that screen, making them retreat dribble or pick up their dribble. So if you're a guard for Belmont, you got to be able to retreat and pass out of the trap as soon as possible.
We'll see if they can get that done in this game. Left wide open. Blair Schuenwald shot,
Oh,
no
another
good.
block fuels their transition.
Smith didn't have the open look from the outside as Jamelyn Kinney knocks that one out of bounds. But you mentioned it, just the big time blocks, one after the other from Inksler. We'll let you break this down.
Man, she gave up the old board, but she's like, you're not getting a putback, no second chance points on my watch.
She's been the difference maker in this game defensively, and Van Lith once again on the left side drains it from the mid-range.
Good to see her knocking down some buckets and getting the ball through the net. She struggled a little bit offensively, but still on this court able to do some of the intangibles that Jeff Walsh has asked of her. So good to keep her head up and keep playing offensively.
Coach did say that she was struggling from the floor, trying to get her into a rhythm. Louisville on a 9-0 run. Another short clock for Belmont to work with as they're fumbling with the ball with 2 on the shot clock. Last second heave comes down to Inksler for the rebound. Quick transition, skip pass, cross court to Kiana Smith. Takes it all the way to the bucket, and a nice look underneath as Marissa Russell scores for another 2.
Whenever you get an opportunity to drive into the paint and it sucks in your defense, but nobody was on backside for Belmont.
Seems like after that timeout too, Chelsea, we've seen a different sense of urgency and energy from Louisville.
Yeah, they've been able to get out in transition, knock some buckets down. I think seeing the ball go through the rim was actually a good spot for them as well.
And Conley Chin ends the run, the 11-0 run for Louisville. A much-needed bucket for Belmont. Less than 90 seconds left in this half. Van Lith short on the shot. And Tootie Jones slows it down, but there's going to be a timeout called from Bart Brooks. And a 30-second timeout. We'll have a women's and men's basketball doubleheader for you Friday. Alyssa Cunane, number 2 NC State, are in Pittsburgh to take on the Panthers at 6 Eastern. Then the Louisville men host undefeated DePaul at the KFC Yum Center. Both games are right here on HC Network and the ESPN app. One app, one tap. I was able to see Alyssa Cunane just the other night with Debbie Antonelli on the call as well, and she has been unbelievable for NC State and stepping up in a huge way. So it's going to be a really nice matchup on both sides. Fun one to watch. We'll get into that too. Big Ten Challenge, Big Ten ACC Challenge just wrapped up. Some very intriguing games, a lot of upsets on the women's side as well.
I love when that challenge comes around because you have a pride coming from the ACC, of course.
Were you perfect in your challenges?
I have to go back to that stat and check that one out, but I'm gonna say here that I think I was pretty perfect there.
Okay, cool. We'll check the stats. I'll go ahead and add that I was, but it's okay. Van Lith, listen, has been so efficient getting to the bucket.
Yeah, and it seems as though that Belmont didn't really discuss that she likes to go left-handed player. She's been able to get to the rack on that left side pretty easily here.
She's shooting 50% from the field, 9 points already, 3 rebounds to add. The outside shot short by Conley Chin, and Louisville. Less than 20 seconds left on the clock. We'll see if they pull it out for the last shot. A lot of movement around the perimeter, seeing if they can find the right shot to end the half. Van Lith looks, dials up, nothing there. And Destiny Wills comes down with the ball. Block shot to finish. And that was a big-time run for Louisville.
I know Belmont's going to go in this halftime not exactly happy of where they are right now because they need to limit those turnovers to be able to get shots on goal and knock down some open threes when they have the opportunity.
Louisville in second quarter on a 13-2 run over the last 4 minutes of play. They're coming to play, making sure the upset isn't coming here tonight. You set your players up for that, just being in front of their home fans and friends and family. But also you said, I love this team. We get along well one another, and that's the way you don't want to start the second half is with the turnover, but we'll see if they can find some more adjustments as this game progresses. Kiana Smith on the wing, looking to see if she can find Cochran at the rim with a lot of contact and finishes.
Textbook pick and roll right there, Angel.
We've seen you reward a post player or two getting to the bucket and doing their work early.
I did that a couple times in my career, Angel, a couple times.
Maybe behind the back, maybe a no look, but who knows? We'll keep that dialed up. Outside shot, no good. Belmont continues to struggle from the outside.
They're definitely going to need some of those to go in the bucket if they want to get back in this game.
And you saw how close the game was when those shots were falling in the second quarter. At one point, this was a tied ball game. Outside shot short by Destiny Wells. Destiny Wells is struggling for this game. 0 points for her. And we mentioned at the top of the game, too, just how she's going to get everyone's best look, everyone's best shot with the target on her back.
Every time she's going to a pick and roll, I've seen them either hard hedge or trap the screen. And so she's going to get those looks back in conference play as well.
Van Lith showing us she can get it done with the right as well. Van Lith with 11 points to lead all scorers tonight. Louisville with a commanding 19-point lead. Destiny Wells finally gets on the board.
Sometimes that's all a player needs to be able to see the ball go through the rim, and maybe the floodgates open for her.
Well, that's a nice defensive series underneath for Belmont as Madison Bartley ties up Cochran. And the possession is actually going to stay with Louisville. You know, right out of the gate with Olivia Cochran, she's so tough. Van Lith rises up again. That's no good. Another rebound can be added to Louisville's stat line. And Kiana Smith continues to let the points pile in.
No stopping her after 1,000. I could see that.
You think she's going for 2 today?
Maybe. Get up to 1,500, girl, if you want to.
A steal by Inkster, who's been all over the floor. And Kiana Smith can't get that one to fall. Destiny Wells, seeing if she can come up with some type of offense. Might have gotten away with a carry there. Bartley for 3.
That's a good sign for Belmont. Hopefully they can get a few more of those to go in.
They need a lot more as Louisville has a commanding lead at this point. And a travel violation for Louisville. Belmont sitting at 29, looking to generate some offense. And once again, Chelsea, another turnover, and Inkster seals the deal on that one for another 2.
Points in transition, points off turnovers, all the same there.
Inkster only has 4 points. It seemed like she should have a double-double at this point. She's been everywhere on the floor. Has 7 rebounds as well. Cochran seeing if she can get to the left. The scoop shot doesn't work. Belmont scrapping.
Good hustle.
As you mentioned, the hustle play to see if they can get something going offensively. Full court pass. And that's a bucket by Madison Bartley. That assist is going to go to Jamelyn Kinney.
I love the no-look pass there in transition. That looks a little bit familiar to me.
Cochran trying to see if she can get things going. It looked like she had the mishandle. Trying to see if she could find someone going back door. Winds up turning the ball over. In the meantime, she picks up her second foul. And Belmont gets the ball back. You can see right here.
Yeah, just trying to hand it off to Haley Van Lith and just mishandles it and couldn't quite get her balance there for the foul.
Just a little bit of miscommunication. Outside Bartley once again. That one isn't going to fall for Bartley, who just in the previous play hit a three. Chelsea Hall looking for some offense. You can hear some of the people in the stands too saying slow it down just a bit. Foul on the play. And that's going against Destiny Wells, her third, who has struggled throughout tonight and has been everything for this team. Preseason Player of the Year for the OVC, freshman MVP for the tournament.
Tough night for her tonight. Still some time left to get it going, but just haven't had a chance to get open looks at the basket.
As a guard, I don't know if you look for that on your own or what you can do, but Van Lith from outside drains it, and Van Lith with 14 points. And the response from Belmont. Madison Bartley already with 2 threes in this quarter. Inksler responds. Inksler hits her first 3 of the day. Had a double-double against Michigan.
Good
and a nice
take by
take.
Destiny Wells. I love her being able to absorb the contact and knock it in, and an easy steal right there. Picking up defensive intensity. That's Tootie Jones there.
And it's those plays, Chelsea, that you want to see. Not looking at the scoreboard so much, and you saw even at the top of the key how Tootie Jones was forcing the situation. We're seeing a little bit of fire out of Belmont despite the score. They're coming. Louisville trying to hold them off. Well, silver is cool, but I know a couple of people that prefer gold. You're seeing Haley Van Lith with Jeff Waltz as they were the gold medalists in Thailand, holding up the gold medal and the trophy as well. And you got Peyton Verhulst, Hungary. Another gold medal to add, and our very own Chelsea Gray, bite on the gold. I was wondering if you travel with your gold medal. This is just amazing. The 2020 gold medalist in Tokyo, Japan with your teammate as well. That's really nice. Asia Wilson with the Las Vegas Aces. You guys have done some damage as well.
Yeah, such a great experience playing with USA basketball and holding up that gold. It's a moment like I'm going to tell my kids about, I'm going to tell grandkids about. It's just a great moment, and the hard work and dedication that I put into this game and the people that I was able to do it with. And I'll always be in the record books as an Olympian, and so just a great experience for me.
Absolutely incredible, Chelsea, to see you shine on so many different levels, but just seeing the amount of Olympians in the building. It's pretty cool to highlight as there's some fumbling underneath, and Tessa Miller gathers her footing a bit. Mikasa Robinson picks up her first personal foul. 2 dribbles and up. A lot of attention on the perimeter from Louisville, trying to see if they can speed up Belmont. And they sped Destiny Wells right into a bucket. So it seems like Destiny Wells is finding more of a rhythm, but Liz Dixon for another nice move on the baseline. You said you liked it before. She continues to strive in that.
I think it's important with this Belmont defense that when you get a touch inside for Louisville, you be able to face up and see if a double team is happening, see if help side just like that, being able to come over for a steal.
Louisville known for their defense, and we're seeing a lot out of them in that department. Verhulst, that one's no good.
If that will win it, I was like, Peyton, I think you hear us talking about you over here.
Something about that gold medal talk just gets people going, I'm pretty sure. Another Belmont turnover. I want to go back to that as well, just playing in that gold medal game. Everything that you said, you mentioned about leading up to that point, and for people watching this game, I don't know if they really understand what it takes to get to that point.
Yeah, I didn't grow up doing a bunch of USA basketball because I was either injured or too young or something was happening that I couldn't really, you know, be able to experience that. So when I got the call, man, I can't even remember the words that were being said because I went blank, and I was just like, all the hard work and dedication up to this point, it's kind of surreal to just really talk about.
It's really awesome, and you know that Jeff Walz is so proud of what his team has been able to do, competing with a few of his players. He was able to see a few of his players get the gold as well. They're trying to solidify the win as Robinson knocks down another bucket, and it just seems like it's been a little bit slower. They seem more poised in the second half.
It's always hard for the defense. Once you go inside to the post, back outside to recover, and then inside again. And that's where you were able to see, and then Liz Dixon able to kick it out to Robinson for the easy jumper.
And a lot of contact against Louisville. That's going to be a foul that's going to go against Mikasa Robinson. That's her second foul. Team third foul. Belmont fumbles the ball on the toss-in, and Tootie Jones seeing if she can get all the way to the bucket, misses everything, but Belmont comes down with the rebound. Conley Chin with the second chance opportunity, but Belmont only has 5 on the shot clock, 3 as it winds down. No one's heaving it yet, and that's what it's been like in this second half. Just they've been scrapping for every point.
Well, they were able to run the shot clock down there, and that's pretty close to a turnover with that type of shot, but being able to get shots on goal always important.
Liz Dixon showing us everything in her bag. She has the face up and a nice little over the right shoulder bucket. Less than a minute in the third quarter. Louisville with a commanding 21-point lead at this point. Belmont has struggled offensively, just smothering defense from Louisville. And this was a close one in the first half, but at this point, Louisville just piling it all, and it all starts on the defensive end. 62-41 with a minute left. Welcome back. Jess Roy hosts the 3-day weekend. She's traveling to ACC college towns, letting you know where to go, where to eat, what to do. And she'll even have some special hidden places to explore too. Tuesday night, she'll explore Clemson, South Carolina. 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. One app, one tap. Places to go, Clemson, South Carolina. That'll be interesting.
Haven't spent much time in Clemson, South Carolina. Just went there to compete against their basketball team.
Well, Jess Roy will give you a nice detailed list of everything that you need to do while you're there. 1 on the shot clock, and Destiny Wells just gets the ball off on the rim. And Robinson working it a bit. Only 19 seconds left, but they're working it like they're trying to see if they can get something quick before we end this third quarter. Liz Dixon with another nice move in the paint.
Love the soft touch right over the top there. Oh! Oh, hit a big score from Destiny Wells at the half. That's hopefully what she will need going into this fourth quarter here. 41-64, Louisville.
In the words of the great Chelsea Gray, sometimes you just need one to fall, and Destiny Wells didn't score her first point until the 8-minute mark of the third quarter. This is a big one as well, Chelsea.
Definitely a nice sight for Destiny Wells getting that half-court shot to go, and possibly could be an energy booster for Belmont. You see her points per game and field goal percentage there and assists per game. So on track, she has 13 points, 6 for 11 from the field with 1 assist, but 6 turnovers being her Achilles heel. So hopefully this fourth quarter could be a little bit better for her.
I know you don't like turnovers, so just some things that she can work on. I know some were dead ball, but just some areas where she can fine-tune taking care of the ball when she's a primary ball handler. Jamie Kinney working it on the inside, and she gets that one to fall. She now has 7 points.
She's had some great possessions in the second half, being able to hit her post players on runouts and transition. And with the steal, Tootie Jones, like I said, Destiny Wells giving this Belmont team some energy coming in this fourth quarter.
Well, even Tootie Jones, coach said she's extremely competitive, carried them in the rivalry versus Lipscomb. She's extremely dependable with her energy. She's trying to bring that energy on the defensive end to close this game out. Working the baseline, and a nice bucket and a nice look, but can't get that one to fall for Blair Schuenwald. So they're getting the looks throughout this game. It's just tough because coach even told us, Bart Brooks, take the open look because you don't know how many of them you're going to get against Louisville's defense, but they also have to make them.
I think there's a balance with that, and it's up to his players to kind of decipher which one is a good shot and which one they need to pass and screen away or cut to the basket. And so I think you're seeing in the second half a little bit more balanced attack and not rushing their three-point shots.
Rika Kono gets the ball and out of bounds. And Belmont will get the ball back. So Belmont still trying to work on some things offensively. Destiny Wells from the outside and continues to let them rain here in the second half.
Uh-oh, floodgates might be opening for Destiny Wells here, trying to bring her team within single digits.
And you can see all of the starters filing back in for the Cardinals. Jeff Waltz sending his starters to the table to get the energy back for his squad from the outside. Three-point shot, no good by Jamie Kinney. Destiny Wells, you want the ball in her hands at this point. She's been red hot. She dishes it off to Madison Bartley. Bartley, far right. You can see the poise that Louisville is trying to have as far as running their sets. Verhulst doesn't get it to go. Another point-blank miss for Dixon underneath. And here come the subs. Just talking to Bart Brooks for Belmont, he said it's so much bigger than ball. The Belmont is a Christian university, a lot of times devoted to the holistic development of their student athletes. They want to impact their communities that they're in. They do mission trips as a team, and the purpose and value goes beyond the basketball court. It was very interesting, too. You mentioned how Conley Chin has a 4.0 pre-med, and she spends time with Best Buddies, giving back to students with disabilities that can't have the same experience as them. For Belmont, those are the things that you love to hear about your squad giving back.
I definitely think you want to take advantage of all the resources around you. So being pre-med and still being able to do that with others at the university is always a plus, and it speaks to the type of team Coach Brooks has this season and the type of players that they love giving back to their community and the people that they hopefully are trying to impact this season.
Chelsea, 4.0 pre-med
4.0, don't forget that.
Yeah, you cannot leave that off. Put some respect on that number.
It seems as though every time that Belmont tries to get some momentum and hit some buckets, Louisville responds with the run of their own.
And that's a big time three as well, as you can see them bringing it in to 15 with a little over 6 minutes left. But this is a team that just has so much fight, no quit in this squad whatsoever. And they know that they're fighting for something bigger going into OVC play. And that's why they're so competitive. Picked to win its 5th OVC crown in 6 years. And Destiny Wells, the floodgates, you called it.
All it takes is a half-court shot, Angel. Maybe I need to try that more often if I'm having a slow night starting off.
19 points for Destiny Wells. Someone woke up the bear. 12-point game for Belmont.
Back away from the shot as that's Emily Angsler, thinking she can recover with her length, but Destiny Wells able to shoot that over the top and knock it down. Definitely feeling the confidence here for Belmont, only down 12 with 5:53 left to play in this ballgame.
Chelsea, was so incredible, as you can see the stat at the bottom. All of her points have come in the second half. I need to know Bart Brooks and what he said at half, but if you were a coach in his shoes at this point, what would the conversation be to get your leading scorer going?
I would just tell her, you know, you've been great up to this point and have confidence in your work ethic. And I think that's what you're being able to see here with Destiny Wells, taking those same shots, not rushing her shots and wanting to see, I need to have it now, I need to get these buckets now. But you've seen her play develop and being able to get scores at the rim. She was able to hit that half-court shot coming into the 4th quarter. And so now as they're going through their offense, she's able to hit those shots coming off pick and roll or swinging to the next side. And so definitely a bright spot for Coach Brooks heading into conference play.
Doing an incredible job in the second half. Belmont within 12 points. Well, coming up next, we'll take you to Blacksburg for number 11 Tennessee taking on Elizabeth Kitley. 7-1 Virginia Tech right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. One app, one tap. You got the app, Chelsea?
I do have the app. It's one tap.
One app, one tap.
One app, one tap. I'm here for it.
I know that you've been able to see both of these teams as this season progresses. Anything stands out to you about what either has been able to do up to this point?
Well, you can see right there from Tennessee, they're averaging 17 points and 10 rebounds. That's a double-double machine right there. And Elizabeth Kitley right there with points per game and rebounds per game. And so looking forward to that matchup. And you see that Virginia Tech has won the last 2 games in this series. So make sure you're tuning in to ACC Network coming up next.
Coming up next. Don't go anywhere. Maybe a small bathroom break, maybe some popcorn and a soda, but that's it.
That's all you have time for. It's coming at you quickly.
Love the action on ACC Network today, and Belmont has made this an interesting one here in the 4th. A little under 6 minutes to go. And you saw when Jeff Waltz brought all of his starters back, he felt the shift in momentum because Belmont started knocking down some important shots when it counts.
And I think he was seeing that on the defensive end, the lapses in judgment of when to close out and when to stop short. And with this Belmont team, you pretty much want to run them off the line. And so bringing back the starters probably was them trying to follow the scouting report and allowing Belmont to a little too many threes for him, for his liking, Angel.
And yeah, look, Belmont has been battle tested. We already talked about their tough schedule. 6 national postseason teams last year that they've already been able to face: Ole Miss, Georgia Tech, UCF, Arkansas, now Louisville, and we'll see Middle Tennessee as well. But last year in the tournament too, they upset the number 5 seed Gonzaga in the first round of the NCAA tournament. And that's the first OVC program to win an NCAA game since 1990. This team has upset written all over them. They come in and they're prepared every time to see if they can get a win.
tried a different kind of scheme there, coming with a zone defense. But if I'm that center field right there in that zone, you can't allow an easy basket like that at the rim.
Olivia Cochran having a big time game so far. A lot of bodies being tossed each way. Tessa Miller picks up her second foul. Louisville still working in their offense. Kiana Smith, who reached a 1,000-point club earlier in the first quarter. An off from Robinson. A couple of cutters. She has some options, but tosses it away. And Jamelyn Kinney comes up with the ball. Belmont trying to get set. Pushes it off to Tootie Jones. She's had a huge impact energy-wise for Belmont in this second half. A foul is called. Are they going to count it?
Oh.
And they say
they counted it. I know Haley Van Lip is reflecting back on that one in the first half, saying you didn't give me that call in the first half, but able to get the and one to go.
Chelsea Hall picks up her first foul. The and one goes for Tessa Miller. It's an 11-point game, Chelsea. Starters out for both teams on the floor. Kiana Smith misread the back door for Robinson, and that's a turnover for Louisville. As you can see, Jeff Walt's a little confused about what his team is doing offensively at this point. The turnover is continuing to pile up for both.
Big
Belmont
possession
15,
here.
Belmont 15, Louisville 14. You said a big possession, Chelsea.
Big possession by Belmont, wanting to get a shot on goal and an easy score if they can get a good look here.
They get a good look, but Louisville comes down with the rebound. Chelsea Hall pushing it. Van Lith finds out and dishes it out. Smith with the bucket, so poised.
They needed that bucket coming down the stretch here to try to get some momentum back in their favor.
Hey, Kiana Smith with 14 points. Shooting 60% from the field. She's been the answer, and a great way to respond after the turnover in the previous play.
That's a testament to her focus and her confidence in herself. Made a bad play, get a stop defensively, and knock down a floater in the middle of the lane.
So it's go time for Belmont, seeing if they can continue to cut into this lead for Louisville. A lot of contact on the floor as Cochran was diving and trying to see if she can come up with an extra possession. That's her third foul, second team foul.
When you're that guard coming off that pick and roll and you see the hard hedge coming, you always want to challenge that post player and get low to the ground and try to beat that post player out on that hard hedge.
See Gray breaking down the top of the key and post play that we need to see from both teams, but Belmont seeing if they can get a bucket here. This is a big offensive series for them. 3 on the shot clock. Stripped away, and actually it's going to be a shot clock violation by Belmont. They turned down a couple of shots that you would think that they would put up.
I think it's just recognizing what time the shot clock is at, because they passed up a 3-point shot. They passed up a short corner jumper, so I know they are wishing they can have that possession back.
13-point game. Belmont in the second half brought it as close as 11 as Cochran goes to the bucket and gets fouled. will take a trip to the free throw line. Tessa Miller picks up her 3rd personal foul. And even for Olivia Cochran, you mentioned just a few things in her game about how solid she's been. She has aspirations of playing on the next level. As far as the next step for her, is there anything you would like to see in her game?
Just her ability to, you know, have good footwork around the rim and able to finish at the basket in a multitude of ways, both hands. And she already does the dirty work in rebounding, defending, communicating. So just picking it up on the offensive end and being able to make timely reads on time and on target.
Well, the sophomore out of Columbus, Georgia, led the team in rebounding last season with close to 7. She was named to the All-ACC freshman team. And another stoppage of play as Louisville picks up the foul. Chelsea Hall picks up her 2nd. Next foul for Louisville will put Belmont on the free throw line.
She glances over at Jeff Walsh like, hey, was that a foul? And he was like, it's okay, keep going. We love that presence and love that type of communication he has with his players.
Conley Chin with the bucket. Way downtown. It's a 12-point game, Chelsea. 9 points for Conley Chin. They continue to try to move the ball around, but another turnover for Louisville. Blair Schuenwald doesn't like her look at the rim, so she's going to pass it around. Destiny Wells, who has been on fire in the second half, tried to see if she can get something, went amongst the trees and turns the ball over.
Yeah, didn't really have a solid possession there. I think that's one of those that you have to back it out, call a play, and make sure you get a good, solid look at the rim.
Kiana Smith working the ball around the perimeter. Louisville seeing if they can come up with a good shot. Van Lith pulls up, short. Destiny Wells with the rebound. We're less than 2 minutes from the ball game. Destiny Wells can't get that bucket. We've seen a lot of bunnies for Belmont that they weren't able to convert.
Yeah, if you change 2 to 3 possessions of their offensive possessions, they're within 6 to 8 points of Louisville in this game.
So Conley Chin picks up her 3rd foul, but you mentioned just the amount of paying attention to detail as far as when you're getting to the rim. We'll talk about the point disparity in the paint, 44 to 26, Louisville advantage.
I think you're always going to see that reflection if you see who is the aggressor in this ball game. And right now you definitely would say that's Louisville. Some of those paint points come with transition and getting steals and able to get runouts and easy buckets, as Chelsea Hall gets another steal and is getting out of hand for Belmont of being able to get within single digits of Louisville in this ball game.
Chelsea Hall, the grad transfer from Vandy, knocks down the 2 free throws, remains perfect from the stripe as well. I'll say this, Chelsea, as you shake your head.
Never want to jinx a player going to the free throw line.
She seems pretty good as Robinson gets fouled, and that's going to go against Tootie Jones. So we're approaching the 1-minute mark in this ball game, and we're sitting at a 14-point game right now, but Chelsea, we saw a little bit of everything. Not a hot start from Belmont. Shooting-wise, second quarter, we saw a lot of threes as well, and in the second half, Destiny Wells emerged, but Louisville just had a little bit more firepower.
Yeah, I think when you go back in the locker room and you take a look at this game and watch the game film, I think this is also a learning point for Louisville of how to close out games, because people can hit a couple of threes and win a ball game. People have lost championships or times in the NCAA tournament because they thought the game was over a little too soon. So being able to have those growing pains now earlier in the season and not have to pay for them later on is always going to be important.
Well, as this one continues to wind down, Finless, Smith, Hall are in double figures for Louisville. And Cochran just continues to knock this one down and builds on their lead. Kinney for another 2, but this one is going to be ball game as Belmont drops this one to Louisville 80-66. We'll have a player of the game coming up after the break.